Hey guys, it's day 2 of Keto Together, and I have to tell you, yesterday was wonderful. I loved all the photos of the sheet pan meals that I saw, and today on day 2 we're going to make a cheese-crusted omelet. Guys, this is not like a typical omelet. This is so good, and I put several links in there. So one link is to Jill's cheese-crusted omelet on the Diet Doctor website, which has given me the inspiration for this. But what I found, make sure you share, by the way, whenever I go live on Simply Keto, folks in the big group can't find it. So if you'll click the share button and share in the group, share it to Low Carb Journey, that way other people will be able to find us. But I've also put in the description on the video the link back to Diet Doctor to Jill's Cheese Crusted Omelet. But I'm telling you, I love that recipe because it's so flexible. And that's exactly what Keto Together is all about. Keeping it flexible, using what we have. So tonight for the cheese crusted omelet, I'm going to go ahead and start my cheese. I just have plain cheddar. I could have used a little bit of Swiss. I could have used some Gouda. I actually have a little bit more Gouda, I think. But David really likes that, so I decided I'd go with plain cheddar. It's what I have the most of. And what you're doing with this is you're just sprinkling the cheddar cheese over the bottom of the pan, and it's going to melt, and as it melts, it makes a solid layer. Now, it's not going to melt until I turn the stove on, so let me turn the stove top on, whoops, and I'm going to turn it on fairly low heat, because what we want to do is we want to let this melt kind of into a layer. And then I have 2 eggs, and believe it or not, it's only 2 eggs, but y'all, this is so filling. Usually I just eat half. David gets the other half. Actually, sometimes if we put a ton of fillings in it, he gets 60% and I get 40. It's a 60-40 split around here. But I've got 2 eggs, and these are from a local farm. Actually, a local person, not necessarily a farm. And I'm going to, once it melts, I'll pour the cheese over it. I'll pour the egg over the cheese, and then we'll put our toppings in. So again, one of the reasons this is so easy and so flexible is you can use what you have on hand. So I went through my cabinets and through the fridge, literally through the cabinets and through the fridge, and I have some goat cheese. Now this is a herbed goat cheese. It is so good, just a little bit left. And so things like this where you have just a little left are perfect to toss into this, and I love goat cheese. I had some little tomatoes that are honestly getting kind of used, so I probably need to throw those in. I found some artichokes that I had opened previously and used as part of a charcuterie platter, and so I can use those. Keep an eye on my heat. I found some spinach, which fresh spinach is great in this. Problem with the fresh spinach is once I open that bag, I know it's going to wilt quickly, and I don't want to use just a little bit for that, so I probably won't use the spinach. I have bacon bits, which are great, or bacon pieces. They're not really bacon bits. It's real chopped bacon cooked. I have some pistachio pesto made with pistachio, which would be really good in this. I have some sun-dried tomatoes. I actually had leftovers. This is from a Mexican dish we did, and it's a pork. It's pork with some jalapenos and pepper and onion. Really nice for Southwestern flavors. Winston's licking my foot, so that's why I moved. And then I've got some leftover beef. Now this was beef that I cooked that Jonathan just decimated. He jumped in, and I'm watching, and David's watching, and David's like, "Did you get photos of that?" And I said, "No, but I managed to save all 10 fingers." And so there's not a ton left, but when there's only a little bit, just like when there's a little bit of cheese, this is a great thing to use. And there's plenty of cooked onion and pepper already in there. I also found on my scavenger hunt in the fridge, this is some sliced jalapeno small batch sausage, and David loves this stuff. He had a little bit for breakfast this morning, so this small batch sausage would be a really good thing to put in there too. And of course, often I put some cream cheese. I just slice it up and put little bits of cream cheese. But tonight, what I decided to do, there's so many possibilities, but what I decided to do was I'm going to use up the smoked, not to use up necessarily, but I'm going to put some goat cheese. Maybe we'll use it all. I'll put some goat cheese. I think the tomatoes would be perfect with the goat cheese. I would put the spinach, but I want to save that for another time for a salad. And then instead of the Mexican, David enjoyed that. He'll probably eat that as leftovers for another meal. And so I'll use some of the beef. So let's see how this sounds. Beef, goat cheese, some sliced fresh tomatoes. I could throw in the sun-dried tomatoes, but since I have fresh, I probably won't. And then I'll put a little more cheese. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Put the goat cheese. Never mind. Goat cheese. Oh, artichoke. I'll chop up a little bit of artichoke. So goat cheese, artichoke, tomato, beef, and I'll use some of the onions and peppers from the beef. So how does that sound? I think it's going to be absolutely luscious. Now, if I was going to do the Mexican, I could pull out some olives. I have some jarred olives, fresh jalapeno. I have a little bit of that. I could put a dollop of sour cream on the end of it. So all of those things would be really good. Okay, this is getting to a good melt. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I'm going to turn the heat up just a smidge, but this is getting to a good melt. And so we want this to get a layer of cheese, and we want the cheese to brown. I mean, it becomes a crust, right? Kind of like the skillet pizza, but we're making an omelet. It's the same kind of thought. And I think the dogs are getting ready to bark. Let me pour this over. Once you get kind of solid, you can pour the egg over because it'll stay in the, it'll stay on top of the cheese. And I'm just pouring it over evenly across the cheese. And that's just 2 eggs. And this is, I think, a 9-inch skillet. I know I've measured it, but this is, I believe, a 9-inch skillet that I'm using. And this is what I usually make it in. And I tell you, when you stuff it, and I'm just trying to smooth the egg out a little bit. You can see I got a little too close there. So let's let this cook. And David's handing me the salt. Another thing I love to do, and I forgot to do, is to grab fresh herbs. And you can put basil. It's okay, David, I don't need it. Actually, if you want to grab the green onion, I can put some of the green onion tops in there. And anyway, lots of times when I'm doing this, I'm using up leftovers, but I love to put fresh herbs in it. Thyme, basil, depending on what you're putting, oregano, and I'm going to put the green onion tops. I think that'll be really good. So let me slice up a few things. I've got the goat cheese. Let me do a few little thin slices. When you're adding cheese, whether it's the cream cheese or the goat cheese, you want to put small slices of it. Okay, and I may use all of this. This is an herbed goat cheese that I got from a local goat cheese farmer, and I've had it for a week or two. And keep in mind, I haven't been to the grocery store since last Tuesday, so it's been a week ago today. So like I said, when I say some of these veggies are getting tired, some of the veggies are getting tired. David's monitoring questions. What you got?
Jennifer asked, did you add any heavy cream to your eggs, and if so, why not?
I did not add heavy cream. Oh, this is getting wilty. I did not add heavy cream because this isn't the creamy skillet eggs. I mean, you could, like I said, I usually put cream cheese, but I don't. I just want it to cook through like a regular omelet. But yeah, you could. There's nothing wrong with that.
And someone from Australia says hi, in New York and Florida and Pennsylvania and North Carolina and all over the place.
People, are you guys, it's not, well, it's funny because you guys were posting pictures of your omelets already today. Last night I kept seeing the sheet pan and all those amazing creations. Somebody used pork belly that looked fantastic. I think that was Lissa. But you guys started posting your omelets even this morning. And so I looked at that, I started getting hungry, and I'm like, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, because I was waiting till 5 for our live to make my omelet, but you made it all look so good.
And several people have dogs named Winston.
Yeah, I guess Winston, we did ours because he's an English Springer Spaniel, so it was after Winston Churchill, and bless him, he, well, Winston likes to eat, he fits right in our family. It's amazing. He was right under my feet. Until something at the front door, I think, entertained him or intrigued him. Man, this is going to be perfect, I think. So I don't think I have it evenly on the heat. Let me slide it there because this is cooking faster. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of the cheese. This is the goat cheese. And even though it's an omelet, I don't try to keep it on half of it. I just put it everywhere because I want it to kind of get in there and get melted. There's another question.
So there's a question about using an iron skillet for this instead of a nonstick pan. What do you think?
I've not tried the cast iron skillet. Somebody had done it and it looked fantastic. What I would do, and I'll show you this toward the end, to keep it from sticking and to get it to be really pretty and hold together, what you want to do is just like the skillet pizza, turn off the heat and let it cool. And I know that's hard, but let it cool. Get yourself something to drink. I guess a white wine would go with this. Some unsweet tea. Make the spiced tea. Grace and I have really been digging the tea. And this was the rest of the goat cheese. I'm going to put that in there. Make some tea and then get your plates and then fold it over after it's cooled. It's really pretty that way. Okay, put a little tomato in there and then I'll get the beef. Doesn't this look good? I don't know that I've ever made, as many times as I've made this, I don't know that I've ever made it the same way twice. I've made it using taco leftovers. I've made it using steak leftovers, all kinds of stuff. It's super, super easy. And let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and put the beef in there. Okay.
Several people are using your sausage gravy.
Ooh, I've never tried that. How does that work? That will be for Winston. Oops. How does that work? I've never tried that. Does it?
I don't know that, but I've seen that a couple of times.
Huh. On inside of the omelet or on top of it after?
Not clear.
Okay. Are y'all using that sausage gravy inside the omelet or pouring it over? Because I bet that would be good. David's going to want me to try that. He likes that sausage gravy.
Tammy wants to know if you warm the beef before you put it in the omelet or if it's going to warm while it's in the skillet.
I did warm it. I did. I guess I cheated. But sometimes if I'm using like raw onion, I'll saute it. Man, the dogs are going to love these scraps tonight. Sometimes if I'm using I'll warm things. I'll give it a little saute and then set it aside before I start the omelet. And I'm just putting a little more beef. Man, this smells good.
The sausage gravy, we've had at least one comment saying that it's inside.
Inside.
But then we have someone saying that it sounds really yummy thinking about pouring the sausage gravy over the omelet.
Yeah, that would be my inclination because I would be afraid it would just like run out. But I don't know. What do I know?
Somebody else wants to know, do you ever have your cheese stick and you end up with an omelet scramble?
I don't, but I think that's also because I'm patient with it and I turn it off. I've never had it stick. Now remember, I'm using a non-stick skillet, and so that may be part of it. All right, I'm going to grab some of the onion and peppers for this. But yeah, I've not had a problem with it sticking. But you know what? Even an omelet scramble sounds pretty good when you've got really good fillings.
There is a question about how much cheese did you use to start with? We've seen that several times.
Yeah, honestly, I had 8 ounces in there. I probably used at least 2 ounces of cheese when I first got started. So, but remember, I usually eat just a half at a time. So, and I do generally put more cheese inside. I don't think I've ever eaten a whole one. So if dairy's something you need to be careful about, if you're following Dr. Westman's page 4 and you're limiting dairy, then you could potentially, don't put it on the inside, just the outside, or use a smaller skillet. One of the reasons I used that much is because the skillet size, because you've got to cover the whole thing. So if you had like a 5 or 6 inch skillet, just use that and you can use less cheese, or do what I do and just do half portions. Look how much I'm putting in here. See, I love the fillings. I get a little carried away, y'all. Okay.
Monica says asparagus and chorizo.
Oh, chorizo is good. Chorizo would make dirt taste good. I love chorizo.
Charlene says an Eggs Benedict version.
Ah, see, you guys are so smart. And this is what I love about the whole Keto Together concept, because everybody tosses in their ideas and we learn from each other. I'm going to wash my hands really quick. What other questions do we have?
Well, those are the ones I've seen. There are several people telling us to give Winston kisses, but
I wish I could if I put him on camera, I'd give him scraps and you would see how he acts. He acts like he loves us, but I really know that if anything happened to us, he would eat us.
Chicken and blue cheese.
Oh, yeah. I have blue cheese, and I actually thought about that, but I am the only one who loves it. And so I was a little worried if I did that anybody else who might want to have some would not touch it. I'm going to put some of the green onions in. I know I have regular onions, but green onions, these green onion tops. And these are the green onions I talked about. I did a live a couple weeks ago. I just keep changing out the water. They're starting to get a little sad, but I keep changing out the water and they're growing, and it's been amazing. It just regenerates. Uh-oh, he's laughing.
Someone has asked, is that enough for two, or are you feeding an army?
Hey, I said it's at least two. There's Winston. I said it's at least for two, but it's not that big. It's 2 bags. It's 2 bags, y'all. Back off.
Heather says it's your fault she's lost 115 pounds.
That's amazing. You can blame me all day long, but don't forget to give some credit to yourself. You did the hard work. That is awesome. Congratulations.
There's a question about that jar, the Clausen jar.
My bacon fat. No, you can't have it. What's the question?
Well, it was really, someone has, and I missed the name, but someone has one just like that, right beside their stove, with bacon grease in it.
I had a really cool jar that somebody gave me. They sent, one of my followers sent to me for bacon fat, and I loved it, but it seemed to kind of leak or something. It was a bit odd, so I stopped using it. I really loved it, but I stopped using it.
Marcia says ground lamb, feta, like a gyro.
Yeah, that'd be amazing with a little mint in there. Yeah, and some tzatziki. I love that idea.
The onions, there's a question about, do you keep them in the refrigerator or on the countertop?
On the countertop. I keep them by a window. I change out the water once a day, every other day. I keep the water low, and I could take that whole thing and just chop it up. It's been amazing. Now this guy's getting, let me trim him. But they just keep growing taller and taller, and then new shoots come out. It's been fantastic, and so I've enjoyed these. I probably had them well over a month now, don't you think, David?
Probably.
The green onions.
And there's questions about the bacon grease. How long can it sit beside the stove, and do you have to refrigerate it?
I do not refrigerate it. I have had this jar out for probably 4 years. I'm not kidding. I keep the lid on it. And when I'm making something, I'll just scoop in there. Now, honestly, I don't usually get to the bottom. I probably should. But whenever we bake bacon, which is David's job, but whenever we bake bacon, we let it cool a bit, take the bacon out, and then we just pour it into, and you can see that's a different color. That's fresher from yesterday or Sunday. Anyway, but yeah, I just keep scooping off the top. I've never had it go rancid. And we live in a climate, and we have air conditioning in the summertime, and I've never had it go bad. So it just sits right there where it's convenient for me.
Guess who would ask the question about using a Mount Olive pickle instead of a Clausen pickle jar?
The problem is we eat them so fast. I throw them away. Yeah, I need a Mount Olive pickle jar. Mount Olive should make bacon grease jars. We need to talk to them about that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Crystal. That should be a Mount Olive jar. But we threw the Clausens out.
I actually think it was Tammy that asked the question. So
Tammy.
Tricked you on that one.
Oh, I thought that was Crystal. Tammy.
It would have been appropriate. I didn't catch the last name.
I'm checking the time. You guys may have noticed I turned the heat off. So what looks to be happening is that the egg is set. And now that the egg is set, I'm not going to flip it yet, but now that the egg is set, I'm going to wait a few minutes, fix my water, fix my tea or whatever, and then I'll flip it and we'll have our yummy cheese-crusted omelet. Can't wait for you to see that. And I'll probably chop some more little onions over top. So I got the tomatoes in there. I've got some onion, I've got some celery, so I'm probably getting close on the carb count. But remember, I'm halving it, and I've got that yummy goat cheese.
Are you going to have to flip that over? How are you going to keep it from tearing apart?
Just wait. I'm waiting. See how it's cooling? I'm waiting. I checked the time. I stopped. I turned the burner off about 5:16. So I'm waiting just a bit. Oh, I'm going to need a plate. David's anticipated that already. He's grabbed a plate. So let me tell you really quick 3 things while we're waiting for this to cool down. 3 things. Keto Together Day 2 is the omelet. Keto Together Day 3 is the crock pot, and that was the meal when I made the video. There will be a YouTube video. When I made the video, Jonathan decimated it. I mean, totally, that was when he obliterated the beef. And I did the Mexican and that too. Really, really yummy and so easy. And I think David was looking at me as I was making it and kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to eat this or not. Or kind of like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to eat it. And he enjoyed it. I'll do another Facebook Live on Thursday. And we're doing, what are we doing? Oh, the grill and foil packets on Thursday. Can't wait to see what you guys grill.
Lance is watching. Are you inviting him down to grill?
Would love to have Lance come down when this coronavirus is gone. We've got to do that. We've got to have Lance down and bring his own smoker, and you guys can like just smoke everything, except Winston.
There's a question about what type of nonstick pan are you using?
I don't know.
Target brand.
Is it Target or Sam's?
I think it's Target.
I don't know. I'll look like when it's empty. I'll see if there's a name. Tramontina? I don't know. It was a Christmas recipe. I think it's Sam's Club. Tramontina, I think is what it's called. I'll put it in the comment. Anyway, second thing, Jackie Everstein did a guest post on the blog about comfort foods, and you guys are going to see it. She had this line that said, I've never met anyone whose comfort food was broccoli. I love that line. So if you haven't seen Jackie's, I linked in the video description, so check that out. And then the third thing, if a lot of you I know could not do the Chibo mini layer cake class. The Saturday one sold out. We raised the cap to 50 for Wednesday. That class sold out, but the recording is available for you. And so that recording, I'll link to that too. I forgot the link, but it's only until Friday. On April 24th, it goes away. So if you want to purchase it for $10, you can get the video recording link that gives you the 6 recipes, and you can watch us cooking. The kids joined us. We had a blast. But anyway, it's $10, and Chibo's making that for sale in case you guys want that. It's 5:20. It's been 3 minutes. I think we'll push it. Are there other questions?
That's all I see so far.
Okay, so let me put my plate there and watch it stick. I've never had one stick. All right, here we go. Ha ha ha. I think it's perfect. Honestly, I could have done a little bit higher heat and browned it a bit more. As it cools, the cheese will get crustier and crispier, but I think that looks pretty darn good. What do you guys think? And like I said, I can chop a little more green onion over it. I think it's probably perfect. I don't think it needs anything else. Sausage gravy. Any other questions?
Well, they're asking about the layer cake. Is there a link for I guess it's the layer cake video? Yeah,
I will put, I'll add that link, but it's on Chibo. If you go CHIBO, go to the website, chibo.com, I think. You'll see you have to scroll a little bit, but you'll see the recording. Make sure it says recording for April 24th, because you'll see one for tomorrow, a live class that has sold out. So scroll down to the recording, $10, click on register, and they will send you the recording, but you have to do it before Friday. After that, they take it down. So anyway.
Judy says that she can't believe you got it folded as well as you did. She said that's amazing.
Aw, thank you, Judy. Lots of practice. But yeah, let it sit. I noticed it cooled. It's just 3 minutes that it took to cool. And once it's cooled, it folds over beautifully. Now watch me take it out of the pan.
Salt and pepper.
For my next trick. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm talking. And I can always put salt and pepper over it if it needs to. The beef was seasoned, so I think it's going to be fine. Okay. And there we go. It's right out of the pan. So here is Kristie's cheese-crusted omelet from Jill's, inspired by Jill's recipe. And we've got some leftover chuck roast. We've got some little tomatoes in there. I've got some celery and onion that was cooked with the beef from the crock pot, some goat cheese. You can use whatever you prefer. And I've got some green onion on top. So this is gonna be, David, you don't like goat cheese. Are you gonna share this with me?
Probably.
Really?
Probably.
With the goat cheese?
Probably.
Okay. I thought what I was gonna do is eat half and then have the other half for breakfast tomorrow. But I'll share if you want to share.
Well,
I'll share because it is huge.
Tonight.
No, it is a huge portion. I mean, it really is. So you guys who are making fun of me for piling it up. So yeah, I've got, if I can open I don't know if I can open it without the tripod. Okay. The pans I have come in a set, and I do have this, and it is Tramontina made in the USA, and this is an 8-inch. I'm surprised it's that small, but that's an 8-inch. I thought it was a 6-inch. That's an 8-inch skillet, and that would have made, I probably would have only used 1 egg in that, to be honest. See what size this one is. Now I'm curious. Y'all got me turning my pans over. 10 inches. So I told a story. 10-inch pan, and this is an 8-inch pan. So the 8-inch would probably make it a much more reasonable small serving. But that's 2 eggs over 10 inches, and I think it's pretty yummy. It's like a pizza. 10-inch. I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you've enjoyed cooking with me live. I'm so excited that you're doing keto together with me, and I look forward to our next 8 days together. Don't forget to share your pictures, share what you put in your omelet, and do a hashtag keto together so I can find it. Because when you do hashtag keto together, I click on the hashtag and I can see all the pictures.